pressuring women primarily to ensure that they get married before they have children.
Really will glamorize the lifestyles of baby mamas, of rappers.
We can't even take each other on dates.
With my fourth kid, afford to be on maternity leave.
Focus so much on shaming the mothers who y'all deem stupid enough to have gotten pregnant by men that they didn't know.
If you are a man's third baby mother, what did he say to you?
Welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get into this.
So I hear black people complain constantly all the time about baby mama culture. And I think the term itself proves the point that this is about making what is a societal issue about women. And this conversation usually revolves around pressuring women primarily to ensure that they get married before they have children. I think in some parts it blames women for the poorer quality of life these children often have when they're not raised in a two-parent home. And I don't want to get sidetracked by the fact that people can't interpret data properly, and they often think that correlation equals causation, etc., etc. So in this YouTube video that I'm watching, she's basically making the point that in America, a divorced father, as opposed to an ex-boyfriend father, is more likely to take care of his children and be involved in their child's life after they've broken up, as opposed to an ex-boyfriend, which would make sense, right? That follows the general narrative that we have that two-parent homes produce higher quality of life for their children. But she also mentioned that this isn't necessarily the case in European countries, and it's not necessarily the case in Canada, which I think marks a really interesting point, that this isn't the problem here isn't that people aren't getting married. The problem here is that people don't feel responsible for their children if they aren't getting married, and that people who are responsible for their children are more likely to get married. And I think,
but the thing though, you just said that's not a problem in the US, so it comes across. I'll tell you what the real problem is. What you said at first, the ladies that are not raised with the father don't believe in marry before you carry. I know I was with a girl that was a victim of that, and I believed having a baby mama was the way. I was a victim of it myself. And what happens is they have fear. They get scared. They're scared of every situation. They don't know why, but that's how it is. So many black women are scared that they fall right into it. Some just don't care. You have a lot that don't have the knowledge, but that fear, it runs deep.
And I think that kind of gets pushed by the wayside because people are so focused on, okay, well, if I get married, then that's a more safer environment. And it's not necessarily a safer environment, as opposed to the people who are more considerate about their child's well-being are more likely to get married. They're more responsive to that wider societal pressure, and they understand that even if it's not necessarily something they're doing for them.
And I know this because when it happened, I wanted marriage. Need I say more?
For their own ethics or values, they understand what the societal importance of marriage can be. But the reason I think this is important is, one, I think we really need to focus. We really need to understand that baby mama culture isn't a problem.
It's delusional.
You know, like looking after children is important. Understanding that bringing a child into this world and into a healthy environment is important. And marriage isn't the only way for us to make changes there. And I think people think that, oh, well, if everybody got married before they have children, then we would have children who are embarrassed.
No. You're wrong. Marriage holds the man accountable and the woman accountable. That's why, and I think what you said, I didn't know that was the case, but if that's a problem in Canada, in UK, and you didn't say anything about America, so I'm taking your word for it, I would say it's helping. In America, it's helping. And yes, marry before you carry.
What's something that people glamorize that's actually just extremely toxic?
Baby mama culture in the black community. The most toxic thing I've ever seen. Someone had to say it. He literally will glamorize the lifestyles of baby mamas, of rappers, or successful men as if that's something to glamorize. If behind closed doors, everything is pretty. There's nothing glamorous about being publicly disrespected time and time again. And then to make it even worse, they treat these men who disrespect and cheat on women like a tradition as the prize. No one is winning because that man needs to be alone, or he needs to understand the value of women, because clearly he doesn't understand it. And it wouldn't be me if I didn't talk about how this adversely affects the black community as a whole. 70% of black children are being born outside of marriages. This is one of the biggest problems why black people cannot build economic wealth. Having a child when you already don't have economic wealth just compounds your poverty, pretty much bringing children into a world of struggle.
You want to know the real reason why I don't want to have kids? Is because I always had a fear of being a single mom, because I had to watch my mom do it with 4 kids, right? Although she gave me all the love in the world, it was not enough. You know what I'm saying? We grew up very poor. I had to learn the hard way with these dudes. And not for nothing, what really scares me about men is that a man can tell you today, I want you to be my wife. They propose to you. You get married. You have 3 beautiful kids. Then out of nowhere, he can say, oh, I found somebody else. Bye. And leave you for dead. Leave you for dead. And that's why I don't want no kids, because men are so unpredictable.
See, example, she's living in fear. If she has a kid, the man's going to leave her. Always thinking, I'm going to get left. So her situation, she's not going to get involved in baby mama culture because she won't even have a baby. It's different aspects, but some won't get married because of that. They feel you're going to murder them when you get married. It's weird. It's weird because more will be getting married, but still, guys are conditioned and would never propose when they get someone pregnant. It's a different day. New opportunity, but same old business. Your baby mama. That's no business to them.
Men are so unpredictable. Think about Neo and his ex-wife, Crystal, right? When they got married, they had kids. It was like a happy ever after. Next, you know it. What did Neo go and do? Get up one day and have a family with someone else. This man had I guess 2 or 3 kids within their marriage. Like, I can't imagine the pain this woman is going through, the betrayal. Men are very selfish.
You were to blame, and only you.
And I always tell you ladies, stop being 10 toes down for these dudes. Because I'm telling you, one thing about men, when they feel like they don't like you like that no more, they're not even going to tell you. They're going to ghost you, or they're going to get up and have a family with somebody else.
I wonder why.
So always make sure as a woman that you don't put your all into any relationship, and you have a little bit of a guard up, because like I said, these men are unpredictable, and I don't want you to lose yourself behind these men. Now, I'm not saying that every man you meet, you gotta be like, you trying to hurt me? What's going on? No, and be scared of love. No, I think love is a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. But I just want you to prepare yourself, ladies. Always prepare yourself. That goes for friends, family, your relationship. Always prepare for a mother to switch up on you. Because when that day comes, because it's going to come, you got to prepare yourself. So if somebody switch up on you, it's like, I already seen it coming. Bye. I already seen it coming. All right, whatever. So you don't completely break and lose who you are, and you go into a deep depression because you knew how these men move, and you moved accordingly. That's what I want for y'all. And that's what I'm going to say about that situation. But it's just scary to me. Love, marriage is scary because I'm solid, but these dudes ain't solid. They're not.
It's bigger than that, because you have some ladies that are brainwashed. They, like as the other lady said, they see rappers doing it. They see rappers having 10 kids, and they think they want to be a baby mama as well. They want to have children and don't guarantee anything for those kids' future, nothing like that, because it doesn't really come from a two-parent household. A lot of women are fine with mommy here, daddy there, and that's a problem. So I understand, but she's right somewhat, because you have some guys that are just try to lock a woman down, put a baby in them, and have no intention to be there. Seriously, you see it all the time. A woman running around with 10 kids, and the system of taking care of their kids. That's what baby mama culture does.
A lot of people are not going to like this conversation, but I think it needs to be had in the Black community, which is the normalization of baby mama culture and having children outside of wedlock. In fact, just this general inability to have stable relationships. Our relationship dynamics in the Black community are atrocious. The normalization of cheating, the normalization of unhealed individuals coming together, traumatizing each other, and perpetuating toxic cycles. And then it's this generational pattern of us not having marriages and us just bringing whole human beings into the world, and the parents aren't married. I just don't think this is something that we should be normalizing. I think it reflects the fact that a lot of us are not doing the inner work. We're not healing, especially when we have this history and this past in a lot of our families where brokenness in homes is so normalized, where the marriages are so toxic, and a lot of the things that happen in Black homes are swept under the carpet. We don't have healthy communication skills. Things like your father's cheating on your mother and we just keep quiet about it, right? Why are we perpetuating these things? Because we know better. Why are we part of this pernicious cycle when we know better? Because we are supposed to be here to be pioneers of breaking the generational patterns, of saying we are tired of the toxicity, of realizing that we cannot bring human beings into this world without healthy family dynamics. I just think even in relationships in general, we are so unable to love each other because we didn't have the blueprint. A lot of us, it wasn't modeled to us, but it's up to us to now set a new tone. But we're not doing it. I mean, something as simple as we can't even take each other on dates. We don't court each other. There's no sense of regarding love to the standard that it should be at, which is laying down proper foundations. We're skipping steps. Jiggy jiggy, umuntu is a baby mama. This man has not even taken you on at least 5 dates the whole relationship. You barely know each other, or you have been in this relationship with this man doing wife things, but you're just a girlfriend. That is why he won't commit, because you've shown him that it's easy to get you to do things that require commitment, but you can do them without the commitment. And so why would he ever bother? And I just think also, if we all unanimously decided to raise our standard of love in the Black community, raise our standard of relationships, and raise our standard of the dynamics between men and women, we could actually start breaking generational patterns and toxicity that we've seen in our childhoods, in our family homes, that shouldn't be perpetuated and continuing the way that they are, and let alone normalizing these things.
You know it's hard, and why? Because you have ladies that were born into it, meaning their mama was a baby mother, their mother was a baby mama, and all of their cousins are baby mamas, especially in the ghetto. It's hard to break that generational curse when it's around everywhere. And I know for sure because I grew up in New York and I grew up in the ghetto and I saw it. Running all through Queens, running all through Brooklyn, everyone believes in baby mama culture. The boroughs, the whole Queens, the whole Brooklyn, the whole Manhattan, maybe not Manhattan, but Bronx, everybody. You live in the projects, everybody believes in baby mama culture. That's the way it is in the cities. They're packed on top of each other. So if that's all you're seeing, that's what you see when you're walking down a block. You see this lady has 5 kids and then no husband. You see this, your neighbor has 5 kids, no husband. You see one family is married. That's seen as odd. It really is. But until we see it more, it's never going to change.
But I've had my eviction notice, and knowing that my baby's literally going to be a month old and we've got nowhere to go, that's really scary.
Dawn received a no-fault eviction notice when she couldn't afford a rent increase.
I can't get a private rent, I can't afford it while I'm on maternity leave. And it's just unrealistic, and I'd end up putting myself in debt.
Her local council advised her to wait to be evicted to access emergency housing. This is common advice across the UK.
Now having a 2-week time frame is better than having no time frame. However, having 2 weeks is obviously pretty scary.
The landlord's after a higher amount of rent to go in line with his monthly mortgage payments, which his fixed period has ended, so his mortgage has shot up, the monthly payment, so therefore he's in a position where he really has no choice.
The day before eviction, Dawn is given a temporary apartment for her and her 2 kids. However, she cannot bring her dog.
She's not going to understand what's going on, is she? She's just going to be like, oh my God, my mum's abandoned me.
I do try and think about the positives, but it's just not home, is it? Like, I'd like to be able to go somewhere to make it home, and I don't know how long I'm going to be here for.
I think the whole system is completely flawed. Obviously, there needs to be a process, but I don't feel like this process is fair for anybody.
Yeah, and it'll all change if more of you ladies marry before you carry, or don't carry at all. Be like the lady in the beginning of the video who says she doesn't trust men, she won't carry. Don't think of it the way she does. Of course, you can have relations with guys, but still, everything that's happening anyway is against God's plan when you think about it. Right? Being with someone, I mean, go back to the old school, but you can't expect women to do that, right? We're headed for the worst.
Welfare system here in America. And now Angel is facing eviction, and once again, she is demanding someone else pay. News Channel 8's Jeff Patterson joining us now live from the Hillsborough County Courthouse, where Adams was in front of a judge again today. Jeff?
Yeah, good evening, Rod. Angel was back in court today. Angel Adams, now Angel Brown, became very famous, and actually, out of all of the stories I've ever done at News Channel 8, she's the one most people talk about. She's the one most people remember, all because of one phrase she uttered when I first met her.
Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
When I first met Angel, she was living in a 1-bedroom motel. 12 of her children were sharing just 2 beds, and Angel demanded that someone pay for her to move into a new house. With the help of the Department of Children and Families, Angel moved into a new home. But when someone posted stories about her on YouTube, she became internationally famous as an example of what is wrong with the welfare system in America. Angel doesn't care that people across the country hate her.
That's okay because they don't know me.
Now Angel and her husband are back in trouble and back in court.
Our lights go on, they go off. They go on, they go off.
Angel is facing eviction from her home, and her power has been turned off because they owe nearly $600 in back payments. Angel told the judge she used a check from the Tampa Housing Authority that was to pay for the power bill to pay instead to evacuate her children during Hurricane Irma.
And I used it for my children to evacuate for the Irma hurricane. When they told us to get out, I used that money to evacuate and get my children where they needed to be.
The judge told Angel and her husband the bill is theirs to pay.
You're asking me to make an agency pay money above and beyond what they committed to pay, and I don't have that authority.
And so Angel is facing eviction once again from this home. The landlord has not been paid rent in 3 months, and Angel is wondering where now to turn.
My children are hungry, my children are afraid, my children are cold, my children can't function in school, my children, they're not doing very well at all.
That's nobody's business. You had all those kids. You got to deal with it. Seriously. And there's no it seems like there's no space within the kids. It's like she had them all 6 months apart. Close your legs, lady. Didn't it look like she had a school of kids? Like they all were 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. That's wild. I've never seen it like that, but as you see, she's a victim. We can't do nothing about it. It's nothing the courts can do. Nobody. You got to fix that. Anything that happens, any bills that come up, you got to work it out the best way you can, because they can't provide your life. Because really, that's our tax money who's going to that.
You know what I just thought of?
That you selfishly tried for a 4th child because you really wanted a boy when you can't even afford the kids you have?
I'm pregnant with my 4th kid. This is my baby boy. I can't afford to be on maternity leave. I don't even think a month I can take off, honestly.
You can't afford to take a month of maternity leave off, yet you have your hair done. It's green, I see it. It's like family planning has left the minds of the average American nowadays, because what goes through your mind that I'm gonna have a kid and not plan the finances and childcare in advance?
What the hell is going on in the world?
What is wrong with the world? It's parents like you who have kids they can't afford that expect taxpayers to give their hard-earned money to fund your irresponsible decision.
Real talk.
Having a child is a privilege, not a right. Not everyone deserves to have the privilege of being a parent. And parents having kids while they are in poverty or can't even provide for the ones they have is a tragedy. And maternity leave, that should not be expected. You expect the American taxpayers to fund a year? No. Then you're gonna be like, in Norway, Nate, in Sweden, and then go there. Literally be so for real.
I'm a girl's girl, so I will always try to understand a woman to her core. However, you know, my understanding has limits. If you are a man's first baby mother, okay, like things happen, people break up, people have children young, they learn their lessons, that's fine. If you are a man's second baby mother, however, please listen to me when I say this. The first child is 10, 11, 12, 13, like, okay, I understand your thought process. It's still a no for me because I have a different vision for myself, but I definitely could see where you were going with that. Like if I were you and, you know, I had that mindset, like I get it. If you are a man's third baby mother, because it's for some reason for me, it's always the third, that's when I'm just like, what did he say to you to convince you to do that? And the reason I want to know is because I don't ever want to come across a man that he's that good at selling his product that I get lost in the sauce and I just say, okay, I'll be a third baby mother. So yeah, it's just always the third one. Women can do what they want. Be the 8th baby mother. But it's always that third one where I'm just like, what did he say to you?
Make it make sense.
What happened that night?
Different minds, different beliefs. I mean, everybody in the world is different. So you have to understand, she may not be as smart as you, as quick-witted as you, a forward thinker. She may be, I love my man. He makes it feel good. Think about it. That's the reason why they had kids. He makes it feel good. That's all she's thinking. It's sad, but that's all they're thinking. Pop another baby out, they don't care. It matters how they feel. You see, they're one of the real lowlifes, if you think about it. Like the guy said, the woman had green hair. Why is it the taxpayers' fault? But it's more than that. They're actually lowlifes. To bring another child into poverty, that's crazy. But they continue to do it anyway. Why? Because they believe the system. They're entitled. And that's why recently when Trump got in office, he's taking all these things away. I think there's going to be more problems than good, to be honest. I don't side with politics, but I think it's going to be a problem in the end. But still, he's taking these things away. And they probably should have been taken away a long time ago.
Hey y'all, so I have boxes. I am just finishing up door dashing for the day. I got the boxes because I am moving. I did make a video and I talked a little bit about being evicted or getting evicted. God, sorry. I am very sad because that was the first house that I moved into after I got divorced. I do have 3 little boys, and you know, I felt like I was getting my life together, but then recently everything just felt like it started falling apart.
What's up, y'all? So I just got an eviction notice on my door. This is a wrongful eviction notice. I just went to the leasing office actually the other day and reminded them that they informed me in both writing and a recording. Basically, I said, long story short, this is a wrongful eviction, and they know they're in the wrong. And I just, at this point, need money and someone who's well-versed in New Jersey tenant law. I don't care anymore. I live at the Beacon in Jersey City. I can tell you this place is on fire. And unfortunately, I didn't want to have to dox myself, but it's getting to that point now. So if anyone knows anyone who could help me out with this, I would really appreciate it, because I'm just kind of over it and I'm really doing my best to keep it together.
Sounds like you're really desperate, because you couldn't say what they did wrong. Because really, I don't think that place where you were staying are going to find out who you were. So you might as well have said what happened. I think she's lying. She's lying and she's desperate. And if somebody helps you online, I didn't see if anyone helped you, but that would be at their fault. It would be at fault because they're most likely not going to get that money back. She needs help.
So, as a single woman, 2 children, because in nobody's world am I classifying myself as a baby mama, I want to speak on the Arnell, Armand, and Queen Leora's situation that everybody is giving their input and their opinion on, and also baby mama, baby daddy culture, because a lot of y'all have lost y'all damn minds, and I think I want to help you find it. I feel like the problem and the issue within our community is that we focus so much on shaming the mothers who y'all deem stupid enough to have gotten pregnant by men that they didn't know, or men that they weren't in relationships with.
No. We're not going to do that. I'm not even going to let her finish explaining, because so many times you do it, and you do it at young ages. Or you feel a certain way. You're doing everything off of your feelings, and that's the problem. That's why baby mama culture has came to an all-time high in the Black community. It's not good. You're getting evicted. We just saw 4 women get evicted. 1 woman had 17 kids. I'm imagining if she lives in a cold state and you have to spend a couple of nights on the street. I feel bad for the kids. Maybe you should consider giving some of those kids up for adoption, right? Because a lot of you are struggling. Even the lady with 3 kids at the end. See if you can give them to the father. Maybe he can take better care of the kids. Better than you, I'm sure. Or maybe not. Give them up for adoption. I hate for that to be the last resort, but it's probably the best result. It's the best result for the kids. The kids can grow up with some happiness, with a happy family, who's a mom and a dad, and stop having them carry around a generational curse, because kids are carrying that around. And when it's a toxic situation, like most of y'all are going through, it's not good. But yeah, y'all, thank you for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe. Also, click that notification bell to make sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Peace out. See you next video.